Hi.
Hey, you're here very quick. I just started streaming literally seconds ago. How'd you come across the stream? Did it show up in your on your YouTube page, or are you subscribed? Did you get an alert? I'm just curious how people find the stream, within literally seconds of me starting streaming. It happens quite a lot. I find the moment I start streaming, I get like one or two people join. Um, And I'm just curious how it
I am
happens,
sub.
if it's organic or... Oh, awesome. Sweet. Appreciate that. It's definitely been a while since I've been in this area. I've only been in this area once, just on this character. I haven't gotten up to this area on any other builds so far.
Are you doing Fire Giant or Commander Niall?
Good question. I guess just whichever one I come across first. I feel like I might hit Nile. Stop fighting. Oh, it's
Did
just
you switch to more Goat's Sword because it's more fun or a better weapon?
um, kind of for the aesthetics, and I just wanted to try out the moveset. Um, I've just been switching between a lot of different weapons, and also just for the fact that I didn't pick this up on my first playthrough, because in my new game, um, I was purely like faith build. Um, I went kind of a faith strength, and then later in the game when I got to the DLC, I went like a dexterity faith. Um, so I didn't put any points into arcane. Now that I have, I'm just trying out, a bunch of the different arcane weapons. Which is good.
It's always better to test weapons in earlier new game plus because in later ones it's harder to get a strong build.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's still, pretty easy. Oh shit. As I say that. As I say that. That being said, the gargoyles I find are probably the hardest like open world enemies out there. I also didn't take any buffs. And I'll probably just pop my thing in. Let's use this. Let's use this.
Did you do the main ending on your first playthrough or a different one?
No, I did Frenzied Flame ending. Because I got to the end of the game and I hadn't cured myself of Frenzied Flame, so I just figured, I'll just get that one out of the way. And this time around, I just, I won't get grabbed by the hand. Out of stam. See.
You're trying a 100% Endurance quest line early.
Maybe I'll just do Rannies and things. I feel like I may have actually completed the Ranny quest line in the last playthrough. Same with the Dung Eater quest line. What else? But I just didn't cure myself of what's it called? You want to finish him off? There you go, bro. Alright, this is the lift. Okay, so what else is around here? Yeah, I've kind of just avoided Ranny so far this playthrough. Maybe I'll just do that in New Game Plus 2. Because yeah, I haven't even done the regular ending. How many is there? There's like 6 or so endings, right? And like a secret one. Like, is there an ending that only unlocks after you've done all the others?
No, just 6.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so there's a default, there's Gold Mask's ending, the Duskborn just fears.
Dung Eater, Frenzied Flame, Rani, Golden Order, Age of Order, and something else.
Dung Eater, Rani, and Frenzied Flame. Hey, low-key though, wouldn't it be fucking sick if there was, like, a secret 7th ending? And if so, what would it be? What do you think it would be? Yeah, I'll just skip.
I think if there was a ending, if you completed all of them, it would start a new war between all 6, ending like Rani versus Dung Eater and Fren.
Hell yeah. Be cool. Okay, so this is the question, where should I beeline it to? Obviously we have Fire Giant over here. We have... There's like a dragon over here, yeah. And Castle Sol. Is it Castle Sol? Is that where... Yeah, I think this is where Nile is, yeah. And I also have to get the piece, the medallion to do the Halley Tree. I don't remember what that is. I know one of them is in the village of the Albinorians. And the other one is somewhere up here in the Mountaintops, but I
If you're
just can't
doing
remember.
Molenia, this run Castle Sol for Halictree is best to do now.
Okay, yeah, we'll go for Castle Sol. Let's just...
One piece is Albanurix and the other is after Nile.
Okay, cool.
Finally, the Tarnished, who would be Lord. Oh my. Why the long face? I fear that you were previously acquainted with this vessel well. As for his flesh, I hope you can... You were about to sacrifice the life of a fair maiden, only so that... What a hope for your ascendance, but how would the... Chosen Tarnished, spare the poor girl, and singe your own flesh in her stead. If you are prepared to show resolve, and attain lordship through righteous hardship, then heed the words of Shabriri. Chosen to descend into seek audience with the 3 fingers. If you inherit the...
Bro, really try and make us the next Vike.
Will serve the girl, setting you the path, burn and incinerate. Make it! Chosen to descend and seek audience.
In fairness, I did do that. I did do that last time. But you know what was interesting? I didn't know, because I avoided spoilers. I wanted to figure the game out organically. Um, and so, yes, I followed some, advice through people commenting on the stream. Um, Otherwise, I wouldn't have actually figured out um, the three fingers thing. It wouldn't have occurred to me to, take all my armor off to enter that room. I want their feet. Give me your feet. Why are the birds like some of the hardest freaking enemies?
Bro, use Ash of War.
Very true. I was kind of just demonstrating. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even drop any of the floors.
Is Elden Ring your first FromSoft game?
No. I got Demon Souls when it first came out, but like a lot of people, I played it for 2 hours and then got frustrated and almost never played it again. I then played Dark Souls when it released, but I played it on PC, and stupidly, I played it with mouse and keyboard. I also didn't even know how to parry, so I got basically up to win, and then I never actually finished the game. Then after a while, I picked up Dark Souls again and played it all the way through. These days, I know like everything about Dark Souls. I can practically speedrun that game. I played Dark Souls 2 and 3, but only like once or twice. I am planning to play them again as I do have them on PS5. So I'm definitely going to stream Dark Souls 2 and 3 at some point. Besides that, I haven't played any of the Armored Core games, but I'm planning to at some point. What else is there? I do love FromSoft games and just Souls-likes in general. I played the original Lords of the Fallen.
Is these two worth it? I've played most DS games and Elden Ring.
It is seen as like the black sheep. It does have an interesting, kind of development history. considering like Dark Souls was not immediately, I guess, praised. So Dark Souls 2 had a very different feel to it. I would say these days it's definitely worth playing. It felt a lot jankier back in the day. I feel like it would, after playing the other Souls-like games and understanding builds and stuff like that, you would have a lot more enjoyable of a time. It just has some weird mechanics. We obviously don't want to go this way yet. Like for instance, it has like an agility stat, right? There's a new stat called adaptability or something. It's like ADP or whatever. What's weird is that like increasing your adaptability increases another stat called agility, and that effectively gives you like better iframes when you roll. It's really weird. So obviously, if you don't level that up, it's very difficult to dodge roll and stuff. I'm sure a lot of people playing Dark Souls 2 for the first time didn't really understand this, and so you would just die a lot. You would just get hit with a lot of stuff. Back at stuff. Wait, do we have to? So I'm just getting distracted from this. What's the... Dude. But one reason I'm going to play Dark Souls 2 again, for one, I don't remember the game. I don't remember 90% of the game. There are certain areas of it that I'm like, oh, that's familiar. I remember doing this part or whatever. But yeah, it's going to be very fresh to me. And secondly, there's different like magic types. There's something called hexes. You can do like a hex build. So like hexes is like I guess a new magic type. I don't know what kind of spells or whatever.
Hexes are like black flame, right?
Something like that, or it's like curses, or I don't know, like witchcraft type stuff. But what's interesting is you have to level up, like, I think it's faith and intellect. Like, you have to level them up equally to increase the damage. So I just think that'd be really interesting. See if I can just speed through this place.
Kinda like DS3 with pyromancies where you LBL faith and int.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, like, yeah, that's very different to Dark Souls 1. Like, Dark Souls 1, you can literally be a level 1 character and you can have, your pyromancy can be just as powerful as if you were max level. Okay. Since you literally just level up the Pyromancy glove itself. I was kind of hoping I could, like, maybe put this on. Maybe if I take the buckler off.
Gonna do Millicent's quest again for Rotten Sword Insignia.
Do I have that? I thought I had it. I think I do. Where is it though? Do I not? I just want to see what it looks like. Rotten Sword Insignia. Greatly raised attack power with successive attacks.
Rotten Sword Insignia is at the end of Millicent's quest. If you kill here, then you get prosthesis.
Right. Okay. Right.
You thinking Winged Sword Insignia the weaker one?
Yeah. I've got these ones, obviously. Okay, so you have to, go through Millicent's quest line, blah blah blah. And then you defeat her sisters. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know if I can be bothered doing a bunch of quests right now. I kind of just want to... Shit, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll read into it. I'll have to visualize... I'll have to visualize all the steps followed. But I did kill, what's his name? To get the unalloyed needle. You know, I might. Do I basically just have to not kill Millennia to, like, beat that quest?
It's basically what you did for prosthetic, but like 20 mins or less.
You see, my first playthrough, I kind of just went through the game without any guides, and I just organically completed, a bunch of the quests. So that's why I don't really understand, like, when people say, like, yes, the game has a lot of hidden stuff, and if you're not, looking or following guides, it can be difficult to find shit, but it's definitely not impossible to come across it, especially if you just, you take context clues. There are a few things where, like, it's like, well, I don't know, what to do now, look it up, and it's like, okay, go talk to this person. But for the most part, just ask chat real quick. Explain to me the
Did you do
full
Alexander's quest?
quest line to get the rotten sword talisman.
To get the rotten winged sword insignia, also known as the rotten sword talisman, you'll need to complete Millicent's quest line in Elden Ring. It's a journey that starts in Caelid and ends in the Haligtree. You begin at Gowry's shack in Caelid, where Gowry sends you after Millicent. You'll follow Millicent's journey through several locations. You meet her in Caelid, help her in the Altus Plateau and Shaded Castle, face a Godskin boss, and eventually reach the prayer room in Elphael, Brace of the Haligtree. The key moment comes at the Haligtree roots, where you defeat an ulcerated tree spirit. After that fight, you'll see 2 summoning signs. To get the rotten winged sword insignia, you must choose the gold summoning sign to help Millicent fight her 4 sisters. Once you succeed, you'll be rewarded with the talisman.
Right.
Any other questions about Elden Ring or something else you'd like to dive into? I'm here to help.
I did do Alexander's. Yes. So you know what? Like, I don't really need. That's a bit of attack power, but would I rather just use this guy? Yeah, I fought him at the end. I dueled him at the Fire Reservoir. Hello, cuz.
Have you tried out Reduvia? It's so good for bleed procs.
Yes. I have 2 of them now. Fuck, what did I miss? Is there a... Oh, awesome. I used, actually Reduvia on, I started like a pure arcane playthrough. And I picked up Reduvia right at the beginning. I used that for a little while until I got some other arcane weapon. At that point I hadn't dabbled with arcane at all. It's pretty good. especially early game, like it's a very strong Ash of War.
Does that mean you chose Bandit as sparing class?
On this character, I think I chose Confessor. I think on my arcane character, I might have chosen the character with the Uchigatana.
You mean samurai?
Yeah, samurai. Bruh, what am I missing? Oh, okay. It was just an identical misleading pathway, right? What am I missing here? I'm literally going in circles. There's no thing there. Ah, actually, I think I know what to do. I hate it when they do this. When they, like, make, identical pathways just to confuse you. Bruh. No, I'm missing something. Let's go.
Impressive, you're getting through a dungeon without tutorial. I could never.
Oh, dude, I do all the dungeons without tutorials. There's somewhere where it's gonna seem obvious to go like forward, but I go backwards. See, I think this is the troublesome parts. to do. So obviously this is like the entrance down to here.
That was a door.
Wait. What do you mean?
You missed a door.
No, it's this. This, right?
On your way down goes John.
There's the switch.
The last one was a door frame. Why couldn't Alexander oil up, become metal?
Oiled up Alexander 4K. 4K 60 FPS. Slow-mo. I'm just gonna find the doorway.
Alexander would make millions as a special influencer.
Wait, is the doorway back up? The one that I think it was. I don't think it's down here. Yo!
Holy stony gangbang.
I need to get back there. So, but it's the end of the world if I lose this room spot. We'll just be diving. The level design in this game is just wild sometimes. How you think you're going somewhere.
Bro, move on to Fire Giant or Nile. The game's gone. It's gonna take like another 20 minutes.
All I need to do is find the door, screw the boss, and I'll get back. Oh, it's right there. The fucking door.
Do you know which boss or reward is at the end?
No, I cannot remember. This is so not worth it.
Where is the door, Plu?
The door is just here. Obviously, the annoying thing is I don't have max health, but fuck it. I'm just gonna mimic tear. Oh, actually, I shouldn't mimic tear because I only have like no
You're
health.
so good you don't need max HP.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably gonna be a frustrated good. Yes, I will get out of here in a sec. I'll just see if I can cross where I was before. So I don't think it was too far up there.
Would you ever try Sekiro?
Yeah, for sure. I played a little bit of fuck, what's the other like samurai one called? I started it, but I never actually finished it. One that just got a sequel not too long ago. Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. Sorry if my responses aren't the fastest, I have a little screen delay.
Oh, dude, you're clearly very prompt. This is a fucking maze. Okay, we hit a point where you up in the elevator, it's gonna look like I'm back at the start. Wait, is this right here? This might be it. This could be close. I'll just put on a, wait. Yeah, there we go. Let's grab this. Pass the dog.
BTW your bit on where to find seppuku was helpful. I forgot to get in other playthroughs.
Oh, cheers. Yeah, the reason I did that was literally because my first, playthrough round, never found it. I didn't come across it. So, so it's just a reminder to myself. I do those kinds of videos. Because yes, I could look it up, like, find someone else's explanation, but, yeah, if I come across stuff that I feel like is useful to myself and potentially others, I'll clip it. Yeah, I was using seppuku for a while on my great katana. Is that the start? You know what? I can just hope. I'll just peace out here. I was just waiting to get out of combat. I might be able to level up. At this point, endurance is feeling like the best bang for buck. Just because obviously with more stamina, you can perform more actions. And also, at some point I'll be able to put a heavier piece of armor, or maybe the other piece of the Rakshasa set. Oops. Just here. Should kill this dude. This guy's a one-time enemy. He respawns. That he does have this unique weapon you get from him.
Know any reason you did a switch into RPGs and games from bodybuilding? Just curious.
Well, gaming has just been my roots. I have, played video games since I was, for as long as I remember. I've always been into games, and especially role-playing games, things with character development and leveling up and stuff like that. That is something that actually got me into the idea of bodybuilding and lifting progression as a concept. The idea of leveling up, IRL, is something that motivated me and pushed me forward. I did, a brief stint of bodybuilding, of course. Competed in my first show after about maybe a year and a half of training, maybe less than that. Just kind of as a challenge to myself. And there I did, I just love the idea of progression. Like, progression just felt really cool, really satisfying. The thing with, weightlifting is you get to a point where with a lot of things in life you can fake it till you make it. With lifting, you hit a point where you can't fake it anymore. You can't cheat the weight up. The only way to move, 200 kilos plus is with good technique and with accumulation of strength over time. There's no way that someone that's completely untrained or not just a strong person can push crazy weight. So it's a very honest, a very honest journey, very humbling when you get to a certain point. The reason I kind of fell out of that though was because I sustained a bit of a back injury. It wasn't like an acute action, or performance that I hurt my back with, but towards the end of where I was uploading fitness-related videos, I was starting to get really bad back pain, and it was just progressively getting worse over time. So at a certain point, after a bunch of physio and trying to rehab it on my own, I just, I was slowly backing off from lifting. Every once in a while, I would be motivated to get back in the gym and train again. But there's something, something mentally challenging about it. The fact that I had to do so much work in terms of like rehabilitation, just like activating exercises and stretching and using bands and all that kind of stuff, just to be at a point where I could lift, just a regular amount of weight. The feeling of potentially never being able to surpass where I was before was just very demotivating. And even after very light lifting sessions, I'd be really sore. Not in a good way. I'd be really, my back would be in immense pain. So it was really difficult and really hard line to cross. Really it's a balancing act where you want to not push too hard to be at the point of pain the next few days or week or whatever, but still push enough to where you're actually creating enough stimulus to grow. And so yeah, I just, at that point in my life, other things were becoming more important. I could no longer spend, 3 hours in the gym. And so I just kind of, treated lifting as a more casual thing. These days I don't really train much at all anymore. I keep telling myself I'm going to get back into it, I'm going to get fit again. But one thing that's always persisted, throughout everything is gaming. I've just always gone back to games, played every single Final Fantasy game, almost. It's a few I haven't played the MMO. Those games have a very dear place in my heart. And of course, Souls-like games, FromSoft games, in a way, they...
I hope I haven't pushed you out of your comfort zone by asking that.
God, no way. I think it's it's very real to be able to talk about these kinds of things. It's a side that a lot of like influencers, you know, people in like the fitness industry shy away from. You look at these you know, these characters online and how perfect their lives seem, because it's a curated experience, right? It's not, you're not seeing everything. You're just seeing the parts that they choose to show. So I think it's important to talk about, you know, just the things that make us human, the real life struggles that we encounter. There are tons of people that you know, I used to talk to or used to watch, you know, follow online, that just drop off the face of the earth. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, just with the pain and the amount of work that's that these days goes into
for lives than vids for conversations like this. It's so much more pure and real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What it really boils down to is the enjoyment just kind of went away because it became so much of a chore, so much of an arduous task. It was just an ordeal to be able to like train just at a baseline level. It really sucked all the fun out of it. You know, I really liked going in the gym and hitting PRs, and pushing myself, and learning from failure, and all these things that come with lifting weights. And that just kind of went away, you know, with when chronic pain came into it. And so I still get, you know, back pain on an almost daily basis. But I've learned to deal with it. And I just have to find, you know, other activities to keep fit that are enjoyable and pain-free. So, I mean, a really good one is swimming. I do have to go swimming more. I'll actually be working in a pool environment a bit more moving forward, because I do work for the city in different like recreational centres. So I'll be working in a pool next weekend, or this weekend coming, I should say. So I think while I'm there, I'll take advantage of that and go for a swim. So that's you know, very low pressure on the joints and muscles. Just remembered I didn't take that talisman off. I still love talking about nutrition and exercise. I feel like I'm very knowledgeable, and I do genuinely like helping people and you know, opening their mind up to the you know, the no bullshit kind of approach, especially when I was, you know, uploading content back in like 2013 or whatever, at that point there, like there was still a lot of bro science. Hardly anyone was doing like actual just like flexible dieting with macro counting. A lot of coaches and trainers were just still very old school in their approach. I remember I was actively doing a body recomposition. I put on about like 20 kilos of lean body weight. I was very skinny beforehand. I was like 130 pounds before I started lifting. And I pushed myself up to about 185 pounds in the space of a year, just by counting my macros, just eating a lot, using progressive overload in the gym. At which point I decided I wasn't fat or anything like that. I wasn't overweight in any way, but I wanted to cut down. I wanted to. That's when I decided to register for a bodybuilding show. It was really just a deadline that I decided to set. It's like an arbitrary finish line. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give myself 6 months to get lean and ripped. I don't give a single fuck about what anybody else looks like on stage. I'm simply competing against me and me only. I can't control what anyone else has done to get to where they are. There are going to be people that are competing in natural, drug-free bodybuilding shows in tested federations that are cheating. There's going to be people that are breaking the rules and are taking steroids. I can't control that. There's no point having, comparing yourself to others. When I competed in my show, I'd been training altogether less than 2 years. There are some dudes that were on stage with me, even though this was a novice, the novice category. There are some dudes in there that had been competing, had been training for like over 10 years. Obviously, they're going to have a leg up. So, like, why would I compare myself to them? Obviously, there are different, classes, different divisions, and ultimately, there's going to be placements, first, second, third, whatever. I didn't care. I honestly didn't give a shit. I didn't take it that seriously in terms of the actual placements. I just did it for the experience, to have fun. The goal was really just to create a baseline for myself, and competing again like a year or two later, and just trying to beat that. Jesus Christ, dude. I went into that day, I had a lot of fun. I didn't take it too seriously. Like, I didn't put trophy on the pedestal or whatever, so to speak. I think there was 13 guys in my class, and I got like 5th or 6th place. But honestly, if you look at the lineup, the difference between the first, like, everyone in the top 6, it's not that much different. Like, it really just came down to a few things, like posing, definition. So yeah, like I could have gotten maybe a little bit leaner, maybe moved up. You know, I may have potentially gotten like third or fourth place if I pushed a little bit harder. But I'm very happy with obviously where I landed. The only way I would have, you know, gotten further than that was really if I had like more years lifting at the club. I do have videos, yeah, on my page from the show. I don't have too many like powerlifting videos. But I do have a lot of posing videos, posing practice. You know, I'll do posing practice and obviously record those sessions. Dude, this guy's fucked. But yeah, I have some videos from the actual show itself, including my solo routine. And also like the free posing where, you know, they basically just like let all the dudes go up on stage and then you just pose for like a minute or whatever. Then there's the different judging poses, you know, like
birds are weak to fire B2W, so use Ash of War.
not true. Use my Ash. It's so hard to fucking should hit this dude. Use subtune to... I can't hit him. His head's stuck in the fucking...
Got succumbed out of a repose because his head stuck in a rock.
Right. No, am I gonna die right here? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Bro! I was gonna pop my flask. That would have gave me a there. I'm just gonna pop my flask beforehand.
No way, so close. If you got the repose you would won.
Easy peasy. I already have that. I like killing bosses for the sake of it.
Bro, that's so much easier with Mimic.
Right? Just having a little bit of the attention taken off you, just like saves so much time and stress. I beat PCR with Mimic Tier. Did try a few attempts, obviously, without, but yeah, that dude is so annoying.
How long did it take to beat the first NG on your first playthrough? It took me 100 hours.
Well, you can judge by this. Oops. I've clocked 400 hours, almost 450 hours in this character. That being said, yes, there was a lot of times where I've just been, I left my PlayStation on just while I was doing other tasks. Secondly, I did not rush the game. I tried to find almost everything. I have to summon Jelly. No.
The thing is, Miyazaki was right, it takes like 40 HRS only to beat it, but you want to explore, not have to but want to.
Yeah, I'll definitely at some point do like a speed run. When I'm more familiar with the game, I can do that in Dark Souls 1. I can just rush through and beat the game in a few hours, I guess. But I am enjoying still discovering everything and not knowing absolutely everything. The blissful ignorance is quite nice.
Bro, how much more familiar can you get? You have almost 500 hours.
Yeah, I know. I've found almost everything, but I just mean in the way that go here for that, knowing, being able to kind of rush directly to certain items. I've only beat the game all the way through once. This was kind of my completionist character, so yes, I did try to explore every crevice of the game, but I know that I missed out some stuff. I just mean complete, I feel like a bit of an encyclopedia when it comes to Dark Souls 1. I've got a level 1 character that I've gotten about halfway through the
subconsciously
game.
knowing where the best stuff is.
Yeah, exactly. Just having that automatic knowledge, being able to not refer to, any kind of guides or websites or anything like that. You know. Okay, let me see. I do have to eat something. Maybe I could just get something on the way to work. I start work in about an hour. So carry on for about another 20 minutes. Probably till Nile. Let's see. Let's see if I cross over one again. And yeah, like New Game +1 is just kind of like I guess I'm going off path for certain things, or if I come across a dungeon
by chance?
or a delve,
The way you
like
talk
I'll
similar.
I'll do it. But yeah, I'm just kind of rushing through because the game is a bit too easy in this difficulty. Stuff is only starting to get slightly challenging now. But no, I've actually never been to the UK. My dad grew up in, he was born in Wales and he grew up in England. But his family actually migrated to Australia back in maybe like the 70s. Or, yeah, I guess it was in like the 70s. Yeah, my mum was also Australian, so I was born in Sydney, Australia. I lived there for 27 years, and then I moved to Canada, where I currently am. So yeah, we have kind of like the UK accent, but like, we have like a redneck English accent. My Aussie accent is not even as strong as people that grew up in other parts of Australia, because I grew up in the city. I'm not necessarily the most bogan of Aussies. But yeah, obviously to anyone not from Australia,
Elden Ring, what would it be?
Would say that I have a strong accent. I agree, but also, to me, people with like American accents or Canadian accents, they would consider themselves to speak normally, but they have accents too, obviously. Whatever's normal to you, you're going to think like, I didn't have an accent. It's like me growing up in Australia. I didn't have that accent when I was there. It's only pointed out to you when you're around other people, other countries. One thing about like Dark Souls 1 that's kind of unique and interesting.
Sometimes the hard truth is realizing most times you aren't special.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest thing actually about having an accent, especially an Australian accent, because it's very I don't know, it's seen as exotic or rare or whatever. It's deemed by people not from Australia as being like a sexy accent or whatever. The thing that you realize is when you speak, people more so listen to how you sound rather than what you say. So like, especially when I first got here and I'd meet people for the first time, when I start speaking, I could say, a full paragraph or whatever. If I was to ask them, hey, can you repeat back what I said to you just now? They would have no idea. They would, like, I'll be speaking, for 30 seconds, and then like they'll look at me like with a confused look, and then they'll be like, "Are you from New Zealand by chance?" And I'll be like, "Did you hear anything I just said?" It's pretty hilarious. Like, not a dig at people. It's just really funny that people's attention gets averted when they hear someone that doesn't sound like themselves or what they're used to.
I would like you to know I'm not trying to purposefully interrupt you, it's just coincidence.
No, that's cool. I'm enjoying the conversation. Trying to think, like, what would I change about Elden Ring? Not that I think this would actually slide in modern gaming, but one interesting thing about, like, Dark Souls 1 is the fact that you can't reallocate your stat points. I think if Elden Ring was built kind of like that, it would make it a little bit more interesting, because you would have to be, you would have to commit to your character a lot more intentionally. It would make, level ups quite a bit more impactful, and it would really change the dynamic of the replayability of the game. Because you go through the game as like a strength build, you finish the game, and it's like, well, I could just respec dexterity or faith or arcane or whatever. But what if you couldn't reallocate your stats? That means that if you wanted to play a dexterity playthrough and try out different weapons...
Imagine fighting Renala as a full int build.
Right? I mean, some people do it. But yeah, you would have to, obviously commit. And if you wanted to try something new, you would have to make a whole new character. That's what I like doing in like Dark Souls. I like, I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to invest literally all of my points into strength. Not even, increase my vitality or anything. And just see what kind of challenge that brings. Or my most recent character that I started in Dark Souls, I decided to pump like almost all my points into the most useless stat, resistance. I've been doing a lot of theme runs. Like I did a full playthrough as Solaire, and I just kind of built, how I feel like he would be. Picking me up over here. Yeah, I took his, his armor and his sword and shield, and I beat the game as him. And this time round, I decided I'm going to be a gargoyle.
I saw the final bit of you fighting Gwyn as Solaire.
Yeah, sick. That was actually a really fun playthrough. And in New Game Plus, I've been summoning Solaire, because obviously I couldn't do that in my my first playthrough, since I killed him for his armor. So yeah, it's been fun to, you know, be Solaire next to Solaire. But yeah, most people just avoid the resistance stat, you know, for good reason. It doesn't do much besides increasing your defense. But I figured, hey, let's see what it's like if, you know, you were to build a full resistance character. And I thought, like, what theme, like, what kind of character does that kind of embody? And yeah, like the gargoyles, the gargoyle halberd, and of course the tail axe, they grant you a lot of kind of resistance. So I thought, okay, if I build a gargoyle themed character, let's pump resistance and just see how the playthrough is. And interestingly enough, it's probably been the easiest Dark Souls build, because you can just tank shit. You don't really get poisoned. It's very hard to get cursed, and blood loss isn't really an issue either. My kind of general idea is like, resistance can actually be good if you're not very good at the game, if you're just tanking a lot of hits. That's the other thing that is very beloved when it comes to Dark Souls. The interconnected world, I mean, you do have the sense of that, obviously, when you get to, like, dungeons and castles, you know, places you can't use torrent, the different hero graves or whatever you call them. You know, these places, the DLC as well, it's very it utilizes a lot of vertical space. And that's what Dark Souls is really good for. But yeah, this has got to be the best game of all time. I really don't think that they will do this, but it would be interesting if they released more content for Elden Ring, like another DLC, or just, you know, they just added extra dungeons, extra weapons and stuff, or maybe just like even more multiplayer stuff.
Do you also think Miyazaki was also bullshitting with the DLC?
You mean Shadow of the Erdtree? I think Shadow of the Erdtree is pretty good. Or did he say something else? I'm not sure if I missed what you're referring to.
He said it was as big as the base game, but it's a bit buggier than Limgrave.
I thought it was big enough, but in terms of it being as big as the base game, yeah, not really. Maybe in terms of, like, the amount of time to play it, you know, since obviously it, you know, the stuff in the DLC is definitely more difficult. But and it does really utilize vertical space very well. I will admit that. The size of the map, although it looks, you know, not as big as the base game, I feel like it is, the map itself is very misleading because there is a lot more content than what it seems. Just with the, you know, how they utilize vertical space. And also, I didn't even beat the DLC right away.
Builds like Let Me Tank and we're born thanks to it though.
Yeah, we should have gone down that path. I have a tank character as well. I pushed endurance like as far as I could. I have a tiny health bar and I have a massive green stamina bar. And I just use big shield and I just guard counter. That's quite a fun character. I need to get back up there. Is it this way? How do we get there?
What's the weapon of choice for tank build?
I think I was using just like a big bonk, like great hammer or something. But I know there are certain weapons that are just quite overpowered for guard counters. I know spears are really good. So you can obviously use you know, some spears like behind shield. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to mark this fella. So I don't want to use that right now, but when I get more remembrance souls, I'll want to come back and duplicate. I definitely didn't find all of the paintings in my first playthrough either. Nor did I get all of the treasures, you know, when you actually go to the place that the painting is depicting. I almost feel like I should use a different weapon. Really not either. What if we do the Nakaneba?
If you're thinking about a fun build to use for DLC or Elden Beast, I think a fun one is lighting like Bolt of Grand's Axe and Knight's Lightning SP.
Lighting builds are cool. I did a bit of a lightning plus. I'm just gonna put Rakshasas on since I'm medium. I think this did fire damage. That's weird. Because there's a blood flame. I actually did a lightning perfume bolt for a little while. Perfume bottles. Those things actually slap if you build them right. Oh damn, we get someday. We
Since
may
the
not
curse
get
of blood is fire,
tonight.
you could use Fire Scorpion Charm.
True. If I switch these around. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start getting ready soon. Hey. Alright. Play it. Hey. Okay, you know what? This is what I'll change actually about this game. When you get summoned, they should let you like. They should walk you to, you know, the actual other players. Still. What are we doing right now? We're trying to get someone or... What to do, fellas? What do I eat?
fight them to the death.
I wish I could. You know what? I'm just gonna ease out of here. It's gonna take too long to come across anything. Get AW. Wow, I can do it. Where's the grace?
How much longer you think stream's gonna be today?
Only a few minutes. So if you happen to leave now, you're not going to be missing much. I may just have like one attempt or something on. Oops. I just have like one attempt on that crossing. I was hoping that the site of grace was nearby. Oops. Yep. Yeah. I just wanted to find the site of grace where underground.
Did you get the site of grace near Eclipse Show deal?
Oh, it's right here. I'm so stupid. Okay. It's just silly that there's two doors on either side that don't fucking open.
W timing.
Right. Take a quick peek up here.
Did you beat Malenia first playthrough?
Yes, I did, yeah. Yeah, so that playthrough I was still faith strength, and these fucking dudes are worse, don't they?
Do you play or watch Minecraft?
Minecraft? No, not really. Like when it first came out, I played around with it for a little bit, but it's kind of after my time. I was already a man when Minecraft became popular. Right, okay. Fuck this guy. I'll come back to this later. Let me just rush up to, looks like I had extra runes as well. These eyes. Okay, so one thing you can do is use crystal darts. Is it crystal darts? No, not crystal darts. Use...
Bro, I'm fighting Malekith on Ing 6, he's so hard.
That would be so frustrating. I mean, just a base clergyman is annoying enough. Dude, imagine if this guy fucking killed him by himself. Dude. Thought I dodged that for sure. I guess the frostbite fucked me up.
So close. Try and see if you can proc rod on him.
Okay, yeah, true, good idea, right? I could just summon a dude. I'm just curious to see if my mimic will just kill him on his own. I don't think he will.
Mimic tier putting in work.
Dude, look at this, it's insane. Might do it. Bruh. Let me get this one there. Okay, look at the time. Yeah, I do have to log off right now, otherwise I'm going to be late. But I appreciate you tuning in from the very start and staying with me for 2 hours, talking the whole time. It's crazy. It's good experience. But yeah, I'll catch you next time.
Have a great day. I'll bet there for the next one.
Hell yeah, bro. You too. Good luck with Malekith. I'll try to get up to New Game Plus 6 as quick as I can.